On Christmas morning, the stockings said it all. Roses are red, violets are blue, empty like you, no gifts, just adieu. They howled with laughter as I held the bare sock in my trembling hands. My name is Beatrice. I'm 70 years old, and in that instant, the child I once carried inside me for 9 months, the boy whose fevered forehead I cooled with damp cloths at 3 a.m., the man who once called me mommy in a voice that cracked with love, died in my heart. Snow fell in thick, silent curtains outside Paul's McMansion in Evergreen, Colorado. I had driven up at 4:30 a.m. so the roads would still be empty, my old Subaru groaning under the weight of 6 shopping bags, $4,200 in gifts I had wrapped until my fingers bled from paper cuts. The carbon fiber bicycle for Ethan cost me 2 months of grading essays at midnight. Lily's tablet meant skipping my own heart medication refill. Paul's first edition Hemingway was the last thing I bought with the money Arthur had hidden in a coffee can labeled "For Bia's Paris Fund." I never got to Paris. Arthur never got to see his son open that book. I wore the burgundy velvet dress Arthur proposed in 45 years ago. The hem was frayed, the elbows shiny, but I had sewn a tiny sprig of holly to the collar with red thread, because he always said, "You look like Christmas morning, Bia." I dabbed his favorite lavender water behind my ears, the bottle now down to its last drops. In the rearview mirror, I practiced smiling so the grandkids wouldn't see the fear in my eyes. "Grammy B!" Ethan and Lily crashed into me the second I opened the door, their small bodies warm and smelling of cinnamon and sleep. Ethan's arms locked around my waist so tightly I felt his heartbeat against my hip. Lily pressed her face into my stomach and whispered, "I dreamed you were here." For one breath, the world was whole again. Paul appeared in the hallway, phone glowing against his face. He gave me the half smile he'd used since he was 15, lips up, eyes elsewhere. Jenna followed, mimosa in hand, hair in that perfect messy bun that cost more than my grocery budget. "Jenna, you're early," she said, not a question. "I wanted to help with breakfast," I offered, voice small. "Caterer's got it. Just sit." They herded me to the great room where the 12-foot noble fir glittered with ornaments I had bought with love and overtime. The glass ball from Vienna when Paul was 12 and still held my hand in airports. The ceramic angel Lily painted in kindergarten, her thumbprint still visible in the glaze. The fire crackled. Bing Crosby sang White Christmas from hidden speakers. Paul dimmed the lights with an app. "Stockings first!" Ethan declared. 4 velvet stockings hung from the mantel, monogrammed in gold. P, J, E, L. Only 4. My throat closed. Did mine fall? Jenna's laughter was glass-breaking. "Oh, we have something special, Bia." "Paul, get it." Paul reached behind the tree and produced a 5th stocking, burlap, coarse, the kind you stuff with coal in nightmares. He handed it to me like a prop. "Read the tag aloud," Jenna urged, already filming. "Family tradition."
The kids pressed close. I could smell Lily's strawberry shampoo. My fingers found the card. I cleared my throat, but my voice came out a child's. "Roses are red, violets are blue, empty like you. No gifts, just adieu." 1 heartbeat of silence. Then Paul barked a laugh so loud the dog flinched. Jenna doubled over, mimosa sloshing onto the slate floor. Ethan and Lily giggled because the adults were giggling, but Lily's eyes flicked to me, wide, uncertain. "Look at her face," Paul wheezed, slapping his knee. "Oscar-worthy." "Gotcha, Mom," Jenna added, wiping tears of mirth. "You should see yourself. Priceless." The burlap sock was empty, not even a peppermint. I stood clutching it like a beggar while the room spun. "But I brought," my voice cracked like thin ice, "I brought everything under the tree." Paul waved me off. "We'll open those later. Lighten up, Mom. It's a joke." A joke.
The word lodged in my throat like a scream I'd never release. Ethan tugged my sleeve. "Grammy, are you sad?" Before I could kneel to him, Jenna swooped in. "She's fine, baby. Grammy's just being dramatic. Let's do real stockings." They turned away as if I'd dissolved. Paul sliced open his with theatrical flair. Cash, gift cards, a watch that cost more than Arthur's funeral. Lily squealed over glitter slime. I sank onto the ottoman, the empty sock in my lap, and felt 70 years of love curdle into something black and unrecognizable. Arthur died 8 years ago today, Christmas morning, 6:17 a.m. I found him in the garden, face down among the tulip bulbs he'd planted the night before, spade still in his gloved hand. His Rockies cap had blown into the roses. I screamed until my voice gave out, then crawled to him through the frost, pressing my cheek to his cold one, whispering, "Don't leave me, don't leave me." The paramedics let me ride in the ambulance. I held his hand the whole way, counting heartbeats that weren't there. The funeral cost $14,000. I sold the camper we'd saved for. Paul was 30, drowning in startup debt. "Mom, I can't swing alone right now," he'd said, eyes wet. "But if you could just..." I refinanced the house, gave him $50,000. "Pay me back when the company exits," I smiled. He never did. The company sold for 7 figures. Paul bought this house. I kept my cracked linoleum and the mortgage that climbed every year. After Arthur, I became the ghost in their machine. Jenna returned to work 6 weeks after Ethan. I drove up the mountain every weekday at 5:30 a.m., brewed oatmeal, packed lunches with notes in Ethan's Spider-Man box. "You are my sunshine." When Lily arrived, I added night shifts, colic, teething, the works. I rocked her in the glider Arthur built singing, "You are my sunshine," until my voice gave out. Jenna would stumble in at 7 p.m., kick off heels, and say, "You're a lifesaver, B," before pouring wine. The thank yous thinned, then stopped. 2 years ago, Paul's firm hit a cash flow hiccup. Just temporary, he promised. I started wiring $1,500 monthly. Temporary became permanent. I ate canned soup so Lily could have ballet. I skipped my blood pressure meds so Ethan could attend robotics camp. I sold Arthur's war medals, the ones his father earned in Korea, for $800 so Paul could make payroll. He never knew. Last Easter, I arrived with baskets I'd assembled at midnight. Chocolate bunnies, jelly beans, handmade coupons for one Grammy adventure. Jenna met me at the door. "Mom, we're doing minimalist, sugar overload." She took the baskets, set them on the porch. "We'll donate them." I watched from my car as the cleaning lady tossed them in the trash. The bunny's foil ears glinted in the sun like tiny screams. I wish I could say the stocking was the first cut, but wounds accumulate like snowdrifts. There was the Christmas 2 years back when they forgot to save me a seat at candlelight service. I stood in the vestibule, clutching my hymn book, while they sang Silent Night without me. The birthday where my cake was store-bought and my toast was, "To Mom who's always there when we need her." Cue laughter. The time I overheard Jenna on speakerphone. She's sweet, but God, the clinginess. We need boundaries. Boundaries. As if love was a fence I'd built too high. That Christmas morning after the stockings, they tore into my gifts with the same glee they'd shown their own. Ethan whooped over the bike, pedaled circles in the foyer until Paul snapped, "Outside, bud." Lily hugged the tablet to her chest, then asked Jenna if she could download Roblox. Paul turned the Hemingway over like a curiosity, set it aside. Jenna draped the scarf around her neck, admired herself in the window, then folded it back into the box. "These are great, Mom. Paul said, already distracted by his watch. Really generous. Generous. The word tasted like blood. I excused myself to the powder room, locked the door, stared at my reflection, silver hair in a low bun, lipstick feathering into the lines around my mouth. The eyes were Arthur's eyes, cornflower blue, now red-rimmed and ancient. I splashed water on my face, patted dry with a monogrammed towel that cost more than my dress. When I emerged, breakfast was served. Catered quiche, salmon, mimosas, and crystal flutes. I was seated at the end of the table, a folding chair dragged in like an afterthought. Conversation flowed around me, ski trips to Aspen, Ethan's travel soccer, Jenna's Pilates studio launch. I chewed cardboard eggs and nodded in the right places. Lily crawled into my lap midway through brunch, whispering, "Grammy, can we build the gingerbread house now?" Jenna intercepted. "After naps, honey. Grammy needs to rest. She's not as young as she used to be." Paul chuckled. "Tell me about it." Rest. As if exhaustion was a moral failing. After brunch, the kids napped. Paul and Jenna retreated to decompress. I cleared plates, loaded the dishwasher, wiped counters, muscle memory from decades of thankless labor. In the sink, I found the burlap sock, discarded like a rag. I folded it neatly, slipped it into my purse. Evidence. By 2 p.m., the house hummed with renewed energy. Paul clapped his hands. "Tree presents!" They formed a circle. I perched on the ottoman again, hands folded like a guest. One by one, my gifts were exclaimed over, then tossed aside for the next. When the pile dwindled, Jenna produced a slim envelope. "For you, B, from all of us." My stomach lurched. Another joke? Inside, a brochure for Evergreen Vista Senior Living. Luxury independent residences. Photos of smiling gray hairs playing pickleball, eating salmon. A post-it note from Paul. "Tour next week? We'll drive you." I looked up. Paul's face was arranged in earnest concern. The same expression he'd worn when he asked for the $50,000. "Mom, you've been lonely since Dad. This place has activities, meals, no maintenance. You thrive." Jenna nodded. "And honestly, the kids need space to grow without constant supervision." Ethan piped up, "But I want Grammy to stay." "Shh." Jenna hushed. "Adults are talking." The room tilted. I stood, knees creaking like old floorboards. "I think I'll head home." Paul frowned. "It's blizzard conditions." "I have chains." Jenna shrugged. "Suit yourself. Drive safe."
I loaded my empty Tupperware into the car. No leftovers offered. The kids waved from the doorway, confused, their breath fogging the glass. Snow stung in my cheeks as I backed down the driveway, the McMansion shrinking in the rear view until it was just another expensive box full of people who had buried me alive. The drive took 2 hours in whiteout. I white-knuckled the wheel, burlap Betty riding shotgun. By the time I reached my small ranch house in Denver, the plows hadn't come. I shoveled the walk in my velvet dress, boots soaking through, tears freezing on my lashes. Inside, the thermostat read 58. I'd turned it down to save on the bill. Paul said he'd Venmo later. I cranked it to 68, poured a finger of Arthur's bourbon, and sat in the dark living room lit only by the neighbor's inflatable Santa. That's when the memories ambushed me, like a second death. I was 28 when Arthur and I married in the Methodist church with the cracked stained glass. Paul arrived a year later, colicky, red-faced, perfect. Arthur worked construction. I taught 3rd grade. We saved for a house, skipped vacations, bought generic everything. When Paul was 5, he wanted a swingline bike, $89, a fortune. Arthur took overtime. I sewed his Halloween custom from scraps. The bike arrived Christmas morning. Paul's shriek echoed for blocks.
He wrote it until the wheels fell off, then asked me to save the bell for when I'm big. College acceptances came. Paul wanted Stanford. Tuition, $28,000 a year in 2002. We remortgaged. I tutored nights. Arthur sold his father's war medals for the deposit. Paul graduated debt-free, hugged us tight, promised, "I'll take care of you guys." Arthur died 6 months later. Christmas morning, the garden, the tulip bulbs, the Rockies cap and the roses. I kept teaching until 68, when arthritis made chalk painful. Pension? $2,100 monthly. Social Security? $1,400. The house needed a roof. $12,000. I took the grading gigs. Paul's startup needed bridge funding. I cashed my 401k. Early withdrawal penalties ate 40%, but Paul said, "You're investing in family, Mom." Family. I opened my laptop. Ancient Dell, sticker from Paul's first company still peeling on the lid. Logged into the bank app I hadn't touched in months. The balance made me blink. $487,312.47. I'd forgotten. Arthur's life insurance, $200,000, sat in a Fidelity account I'd never touched, too grief-stricken to invest. My Aunt Clara, childless, left me her California vineyard cottage in 2010, appraised at $450,000, managed by a property firm that deposited rent monthly into a Wells Fargo account I'd labeled Rainy Day. Compound interest, dividends, the cottage's appreciation, quiet wealth growing while I ate tuna from the can and wore the same velvet dress until it frayed. Paul thought I lived on $3,500 a month. He had no idea I'd been bankrolling his dreams with the money meant for mine. I poured another bourbon. The burn felt like Arthur's hand on my shoulder. Phase 1. Stop the bleeding. I canceled the $1,500 auto transfer, set up 3 years ago, never paused, closed the joint savings account titled Family Emergencies that only they used, transferred $50,000 to a new checking in my name only. Phase 2. Legal. I emailed my attorney, Ruth Goldstein, Arthur's cousin, sharp as winter air. Emergency appointment tomorrow, full will rewrite. Her reply, 9 a.m., bring bourbon. Phase 3. Exit. I opened Delta.com. First class to Napa, December 26th. $1,800. I clicked purchase without flinching. The cottage, Clara's Folly. 2 bedrooms, wraparound porch, vineyard views. Was vacant. The management company could air it out. Phase 4. The letter. I dug out stationery Arthur bought me in Venice. Thick cream stock, my initials embossed. My hand shook only once. Paul and Jenna. By the time you read this, I'll be sipping Chardonnay where the grapes don't lie, and the only empty thing is the space you left in my heart. You taught me a masterclass in value this Christmas. Lesson 1. Love is not a currency to be spent until the giver is bankrupt. Lesson 2. Empty stockings are honest. At least they don't pretend. Lesson 3. A mother's love is a garden. Neglect it and it dies. For 8 years, I funded your life. $180,000 in direct gifts, $72,000 in childcare hours at Denver rates, $36,000 in monthly temporary aid that became your baseline. I skipped dental work so Lily could have orthodontia. I froze in a 58-degree house so Ethan could attend private school. I sold Arthur's war medals, the ones his father earned in Korea, so you could make payroll. I never told you because I thought love meant never keeping score. You mistook generosity for weakness, availability for obligation. The stocking was the final invoice. Beatrice equals 0. Effective immediately. 1. All financial support ceases. 2. The cottage in Napa is mine. The deed never had your names on it. 3. My will leaves everything to the Denver Dumb Friends League and a scholarship for first-generation college students named for Arthur. Your children may apply at 25 if they can spell gratitude without Googling it. Do not call begging. Do not send the children as pawns. If you want a relationship, earn it the way I earned every dime I gave you, with effort, respect, and love. That doesn't come with a price tag. I loved you enough to give you the world.
You loved me enough to give me an empty sock. Merry Christmas. The stocking is in the mail. Beatrice. I sealed it, addressed it, added extra postage for weight. The burlap sock tucked inside like a coal-black heart. I left it on the kitchen table beside Arthur's coffee can, now empty. Christmas night, I packed one suitcase. Velvet dress to the dry cleaner's donation bin. I kept Arthur's old Rockies cap and the sprig of holly. At 5 a.m., Uber to DIA. Security line snaked, but first class let me board early. The flight attendant poured champagne before takeoff. I toasted the sunrise over the Rockies. Paul's mountains, no longer mine. Napa smelled of wet earth and forgiveness. The cottage key turned smooth as a lullaby. Inside, dusk motes dancing in sunlight. Clara's old books, a fireplace begging for logs. I opened windows. Vineyard rows stretched silver green to the hills. My hills now. January became February. I hired a decorator, soft blues, Arthur's cap on a hook by the door, joined a book club of widows who laughed loud and poured heavy, took watercolor classes. My first painting was The Cottage at Dawn, sold for $400 at the local co-op. The grandkids FaceTimed once, Jenna hovering. "Grammy, when are you coming home?" Lily asked, voice small. "This is home, sweetheart," Ethan whispered. "Dad says you're being selfish." I smiled through tears. "Tell Dad selfish is a mirror, and mirrors don't lie." Paul's emails escalated. Confusion, anger, bargaining. I replied once. "The scholarship application is online." Radio silence since. Spring brought the letter I didn't expect. Lily's handwriting, wobbly but fierce.
Dear Grammy, I miss you so much it hurts my tummy. Dad says we can't visit until you come to your senses. I looked up senses in the dictionary. It says, good judgment. I think you have that. I saved my allowance, $23. Can I buy you coffee when I'm bigger? I want to sit with you and hold your hand like when I was little and scared of thunder. Love, Lily. P.S. I kept the ceramic angel. It's on my nightstand. I talk to it when I miss you. I framed it above the fireplace, right beside Arthur's cap. Summer, I leased the second bedroom to a traveling nurse named Marisol. We cooked paella, argued over Pinot Noir, became chosen family. Fall, the vineyard hired me to lead tours, tips plus all the grapes I could eat. I gained 10 pounds and lost 30 years of worry. One December evening, a year almost to the day, I hung a new stocking on the mantel, crimson velvet, hand-stitched by Marisol, monogrammed B. Inside, a plane ticket to Denver, open-ended, and a note in my own handwriting. Roses are red, violets are blue. This stocking is full. Because I finally value you. I flew coach. Lily met me at baggage claim alone, 13 now, eyes shining like the ceramic angel. She'd taken the light rail with a friend's mom. We hugged until security told us to move. Over hot chocolate, she spilled. Paul's business tanked, bad investment, ego bigger than spreadsheets. Jenna took a second job. They sold the McMansion, moved to a townhouse. The kids share a room. Do they hate me? I asked, voice cracking. Lily stirred her cocoa. They're scared. Dad says pride is expensive. He cries in the garage sometimes. I laughed until I cried. So do I, baby. So do I. We spent Christmas Eve in my old house, now rented to a young teacher who had painted the kitchen yellow. I brought lasagna, Lily brought store-bought cookies, and the ceramic angel. We strung popcorn, watched Elf, fell asleep under the same Afghan Arthur and I bought in 1987. Morning, I gave her the only gift under the tree, a savings bond in her name, $5,000, seeded from vineyard tips. For college, or Paris, or both. She cried, I did too. We held each other until the sun came up. Paul called New Year's Eve, voice thin, broken. Mom, we were wrong. I was wrong. I found the coffee can. It still smells like you. I know, baby. Can we start over? Start where you left off, empty-handed. Earn the rest, like I did. Silence. Then, fair. I love you, Mommy. The word undid me. I hadn't heard it in 20 years. They visit in March. Paul carries my suitcase without being asked. Jenna brings homemade bread, lumpy, earnest, wrapped in the same dish towel I used to dry Lily's tears. Ethan asks about Arthur's medals. I tell him the story, and he listens with eyes wide like Paul's at 5. We hike Napa Hills. Lily holds my hand the entire loop, her fingers sticky with grape juice. No one mentions money. Paul picks up the check at dinner and says, "This one's on me, Mom," for the first time. Some nights, I still wake reaching for Arthur, but the cottage is warm, the vineyard quiet, the stocking full of letters, laughter, chosen family, and the sound of Lily's voice saying Grammy like a prayer. I am 71 going on 50, rich in every way that matters. The burlap sock hangs in the Denver classroom now, a teacher's prop for a lesson on kindness. Every December, the kids stuff it with canned goods for the food bank. Empty no more. Never again.